Here is the trap. Your retriever can be right, your context can be relevant, and your answer can still be dangerously wrong.
Exactly. In RAG, bad answers are often not a search failure. They are a handoff failure between retrieval, prompt assembly, and generation.
That matters because teams see good-looking chunks, assume the pipeline is healthy, and then blame the model when users lose trust.
And once trust drops, the whole product shifts. People stop asking hard questions, support load goes up, and suddenly, the team with the flashy demo loses to the team with boring, reliable answers.
So, what is actually happening when retrieval looks good, but the answer still misses?
Usually one of three things. The model got the right evidence but could not combine it. The prompt buried the key fact. Or the system retrieved locally relevant text that was globally wrong for the user's task.
Give me a real system, not a toy example.
Picture an internal support bot for a payments company. A user asks, "Can I refund a charge after partial capture?" Retrieval returns the refund policy page, the partial capture page, and a changelog entry from 6 months ago. All three are relevant. The answer still says no, because the model copied the older rule from the changelog and ignored the newer exception in the policy.
So the retriever did its job. It found the neighborhood. The model picked the wrong house.
Right. Relevance is not enough. In production, the model has to identify authority, recency, and scope inside the context window. If your pipeline does not make that easy, it will take the easiest path, not the correct one.
That sounds like a power shift inside the prompt. The loudest chunk wins, not the best chunk.
That is a good way to say it. Chunk order, formatting, duplication, and instruction placement all change which evidence feels dominant to the model.
Before people rush to tweak embeddings or buy a bigger model, what should they inspect first?
First, inspect the full prompt exactly as the model sees it. Not your code comments, not your retrieval logs, the actual assembled prompt with system instructions, user question, chunk order, separators, metadata, and truncation.
Because that is where hidden damage shows up.
Yes. For example, I have seen systems retrieve a perfect policy chunk, then place a generic summary above it that says use the most common case unless specified. The model follows the summary, misses the exception, and gives a polished wrong answer.
That is brutal, because the bug looks like reasoning, but it is really packaging.
Second, inspect whether the retrieved chunks actually answer the exact question together, not just whether each chunk is relevant on its own. A lot of failures come from missing one bridge fact that connects two correct fragments.
So a user asks a compositional question, but the system returns isolated pieces and expects the model to do the join.
Exactly. Say a developer asks which API version supports bulk export for EU tenants. Retrieval finds one doc about bulk export, another about tenant region limits, and a release note about versioning, all relevant. But if none of those chunks explicitly binds version plus feature plus region, the model has to infer across gaps. That is where confident mistakes show up.
And those are the answers that hurt, because they sound earned.
Third, inspect source authority and freshness before you change ranking. If your index mixes canonical docs, forum posts, release notes, and stale mirrors, good retrieval can surface a conflict the model is not equipped to resolve.
So the issue is not only what came back, it is whether the system taught the model which source gets the final vote.
Yes, if policy pages and changelogs are peers in the prompt, you are asking for trouble. The model needs explicit cues like canonical source, last updated date, and when newer docs override older ones.
Give me one practical fix that a programmer can apply this week.
Add an inspection mode that prints for every answer: the user question, the final prompt, the chosen chunks in order, each chunk's source and timestamp, and a short note saying which sentence in the answer maps to which source. Do this before changing retrieval settings.
That sounds simple, but it forces the pipeline to show its work.
And it makes the failure obvious. You will see things like the key chunk ranked third but truncated, two near duplicates crowding out the exception, or the answer citing a forum post over the official guide.
Which means the winners are not the teams with the fanciest retriever. They are the teams that can see the handoff clearly and fix the right stage.
Exactly. Good retrieval is only step one. A reliable RAG system has to preserve meaning, preserve authority, and preserve the path from evidence to answer.
So, if your bot keeps lying with relevant context, stop asking, did we retrieve something useful? And start asking, did we make the truth easy to use?
Because in RAG, the difference between helpful and harmful is often not what you found. It is what the model was able to trust.